Camelot 331 here, and today we're going to talk about something that no one's talking about. Why has everyone stopped talking about this? Why does no one care? And I'm talking about Walmart completely abusing child labor. And I'm not talking about me working at Piggly Wiggly when I was 15. All right? The worst thing that happened there was I got real fat because I kept drinking out of milk jugs and eating SpaghettiOs in the aisles. I actually did that. I'm not talking about getting fat. I'm talking about the opposite. It's way worse. So not only does Walmart not treat their associates with any sort of respect, they also completely abuse child labor in other countries, in their factories. Completely abuse them. It's estimated that 50% of Walmart's goods come from overseas suppliers. This not only takes away from jobs here, but it makes life a living hell for people that have to basically keep up with Walmart's hefty needs. Walmart has even been accused, they've even been accused of paying off foreign countries just to keep the details silent about what goes on in their overseas factories they have. A really good example of this, is in Bangladesh. Workers' minimum wage is $37 per month. And the conditions in these facilities in Bangladesh are so incredibly unsafe. If OSHA went in there, which they wouldn't, but if they went in there, they would all just die. Everybody would just die instantly. It would be like when SpongeBob heard the story about the ugly barnacle. Everybody dies. That's what would happen if OSHA went into the Bangladesh factory. In one of the factories in 2012, 111 people died because of a fire. 111. That's insane. And they're also dealing with a lawsuit where a woman worked for more than 14 hours a day just putting chalk on pants to make them look like artificially distressed. Just putting chalk on pants for 6 months straight without a day off, making $37 a month for Walmart overseas. And to top it all off, to make matters even worse, and I know I've talked about how bad Walmart treats their associates, and it's really bad, but nothing compares to this. To top it all off, it has been noted that most of the people that work at Walmart's overseas facilities are underage. Harvard Law cites a study that basically details the conditions of one of the factories for Walmart in Bangladesh. The children that work there report being slapped, beaten, often just fall out from exhaustion, forced to work 12 to 14-hour days, even some all night for 19 to 20 hours, often for 7 days a week, for wages as low as 6.5 cents per hour. 6.5 cents per hour. Think about that. Think of if you worked 40 hours a week on 6.5 cents per hour. You could barely afford to get yourself that 12-pack of ramen. Could you imagine? And these are children, man. They're children. The wages are so low that these children are forced to wake up at 5 a.m. and brush their teeth with literally just their finger and ashes from a fire. Like charcoal. Like that's it. Because they have no money to afford toothpaste and toothbrushes. So they're literally they're just slaves. That's all they are. Now, of course, I understand what you're thinking. Walmart isn't the only company that does this. There are several companies that do this. Smaller companies here and there. Companies in other countries do this. I understand that. But as the United States' top retailer, its continued use of the practice of child labor in terrible conditions is so much worse than some random company in Italy doing it. Walmart is literally the number one company as far as retail goes in America, right? And they totally use this, and no one talks about it, and no one apparently cares. You think Walmart cares? Hell no. They love it. 50% of their supplies that they get, 50% of their goods, man, come from these factories where these kids are putting them together. And they're selling them for probably 100 times more what this kid got paid for like a week. Now, Walmart does claim they're trying to change some of these things. But documentation, like ample documentation that comes from them, suggests the complete opposite. By now, child labor in foreign areas has become such an important part of the fabric of Walmart and the product they sell. It's hard to imagine anything less than them having to literally completely overhaul their entire company just to make it stop from happening. And if you think that's going to happen, then you as crazy as me when I was drinking the milk in Piggly Wiggly. I couldn't help it. The milk was so delicious. That's where I found whole milk. It just tastes like ice cream. Obviously, you can't just open a jug and drink it. But if there was a dent in the jug, you could take it in the back and drink it. So you best damn believe I was punching the hell out of them and just being like, oh, I was terrible. Don't hire me when I was 15. So many SpaghettiOs. There was just empty cans in the back. Like of the back of the cans. Just very back was just empty. I was smashing all of them. Probably why I was so obese back in those days. But is this the reason why Walmart is able to be so successful? Because they having these factories means they can sell things so cheap, right? They can have the cheapest item around. You know, Target's the same way. And there's only 2 companies, retail-based, roughly, 2 companies, big companies, that are flourishing right now in the retail market. 2. And that's Target and Walmart. Flourishing right now. Every other company's dying, man. GameStop, dead. Best Buy, you gonna die soon too. It's crazy. I understand. But it's crazy. Sears, JCPenney, every mall in America's freaking dying. Everything's dying. But what is not dying? Walmart. And why is that? Because they can pay somebody $37 an entire month to make probably 10,000 pairs of underwear, right? And then they sell them for $20 a pack. That's how they're doing so well. So not only is conditions at Walmart just in America completely deplorable and awful. I get messages every day from all over the U.S. Go into my comment section on my Walmart videos. There's people just telling their stories right there about how, you know, they were promised maternity leave and then they leave and come back and they found out they were fired and rehired just to avoid having to pay them. And then all their vacation is reset. They do that to everyone that works at Walmart. So how you think they're going to treat people which they don't have to follow the law under in other countries? They will let them die just so they can make money. That's how corporations are. Walmart would let children die in another country so they can make $20 for a pack of underwear. That's insane to me. I don't know how in 2019 this is able to continue. I heard about child labor when I was younger, you know, and it almost seemed like a joke back then. And we're in 2019, and the biggest retailer in America still utilizes 50% of their goods, still utilize child labor, where kids are regularly abused and not paid nearly anything and passing out and dying from exhaustion. That's insane. It's 2019. It is not the year 900. It is 2019. And it's completely okay, and no one talks about it, and no one cares. And that's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy. They'll care about something happening over here, you know, somewhere in our country, when it shows kids being involved, but they just don't give a damn about the company that they'll go to after their protest and buy their underwear or their milk or something from, which was made by a little kid somewhere that's probably not going to be alive in a year in Bangladesh, just so you could buy that. Same people will support this and completely ignore this, right? It's insane to me. What are we going to do? We're all dead. We're screwed, man. We're so screwed, man. It's game over, man. I'm screwed. You're screwed. We're all screwed. I'm going to be dead soon. It ain't even going to matter. And it will be by my own hand, which is fine. That's fine. I'm allowed to do that. Take life by the horns, man. So what do you think? What do you think? Is this something that should be okay? Do you think Walmart is not doing anything wrong in this situation? Do you have a Walmart story? Leave it in the comments or send it directly to my Instagram or Twitter. Make sure you follow me on one of those. If you follow me on there, I'll see your message. I'll look at it. It'll appear in one of my videos probably. It'll be great. Thanks so much to my patrons. I love you guys. Everything you do That's all I have today. Until next time, get on it. Doggone it. Bye. Yeah.